features the Minutemen of the University of Massachusetts and the Rams of Colorado State University. And now the starting lineups. Starting at forward for the Minutemen from Indianapolis, Indiana, number 22, Tony Barbee. And at forward for the Rams from Cerritos, California, number 32, Mike Mitchell. At the other forward for Massachusetts from Bridgeport, Connecticut, number 31, Harper Williams. At forward for Colorado State from Ada, Oklahoma, number 34, Andy Anderson. At center tonight for the Minutemen from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, number 44, John Tate. And at center for the Rams from Fort Collins, Colorado, number 42, Eric Freehoff. Starting at guard for Massachusetts from Fairfield, Connecticut, number 14, Kerry Herr. And at guard for Colorado State from West Side, Iowa, number 24, Lynn Tryon. At guard for the Minutemen from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, number 20, Jim McCoy. And at guard for the Rams from Tucson, Arizona, number 23, Mark Meredith. The head coach of the Minutemen, John Calipari. The head coach of the Rams, Boyd Tiny Grant.
And there is Tiny Grant, a legend in Fort Collins. He went to Colorado State. At that time, it was Colorado A&M. Graduated in 1957. Since coming back to CSU from Fresno State, he's won 54 times, only lost 25. And John Calipari, the youngest coach in Division I-A basketball, only 30. He's in his second year at UMass. And there's his lineup tonight. Barbee, you'll love him. He's a freshman, and he was widely recruited. Winds up with the Minutemen. Williams active. Tate's a load in the middle. Herr and McCoy, who will fire away at two guard. For the Rams, they'll line up this way. Mike Mitchell, you have to know where he is on the floor. Andy Anderson, Eric Freehoff, 6'8" across. Meredith, he had 17 last night. And Lynn Tryon, who's in a shooting slump, but he can shoot as well. The officials, Herb Brown.
All right, let's take a look at who we've got tonight. On the left is Brent Smith. He's from Utah. Gordon Burke, also from Utah. Guy on the right is Bobby Deibler, El Paso, Texas. They look loose. They look like they're ready.
They're ready to go. Did you get them ready? You always give them the business before things get going. Here we go. The University of Massachusetts, as we look at Mike Mitchell, 4-2 on the young season. 9-2 are the Colorado State Rams. And there's Jimmy McCoy. He has to have a big night for Massachusetts to win this thing. And controlled by Massachusetts. This is Kerry Herr in the backcourt. Seldom shoots it, but he distributes and seldom turns it over.
He really makes him go, in my opinion. He's the backup, too. Kid Brown got hurt, but this guy gets the basketball to the people who can score.
He's a senior that never started a ball game until this year, and it was when Anton Brown went down with a fractured kneecap. Brown will be back into January, and immediately we have a turnover, a whistle away from the basketball, and a personal foul on Tate, trying to work for position against Mitchell. And look at this, Massachusetts is pressing immediately.
That's exactly what they did last night. They started out boxing one against Stevie Wise from CU, but Wise was having a tough night. They took that up.
They get a turnover. Look underneath, Barbee can't have it. The Rams got a hand on the basketball. I think one of the big questions early is, will the Rams be flat? I mean, last night they played one of the nation's best teams.
Yeah, Drew, that's a very good point, because if you could put that in the bottle, you'd have it made. Boy, I tell you what, when he gets down low, put it in the book. And it's as simple as that. That's a great entry pass. He pins Tate down, or Williams down, and beg your pardon. Let's look at it again. Look at the pin down. Seals him off. You might as well just put it in the book when he's down low with the basketball.
At 6'8", he uses his body as well as any player I've seen in college basketball this year. He gets a number of easy layups. He's really not a great shooter. He's a scorer.
Well, you hit it, though. He does know how to use the body, his elbow, his backside, his knees.
Look at the field goal percentage, 60% from the floor. Ball lost. Andy Anderson on the floor. Gets it to Mitchell. To the glass and a finger roll.
Anderson did a great job, Drew. If you stand up, that's traveling. He shoveled it from his knees. That's legal. And it gives his team a bucket.
4-zip Tryon working on Hera. Rams in a man-to-man. Now they'll fall into a matchup.
Got to know where the shooter is, and the shooter is right over by us. McCoy, number 20. That's the key to any matchup. You'll hear Tiny holler out, where is the shooter?
There's McCoy right there. He's inbounding the ball. Gets it into Harper Williams. McCoy settles down, back to Hera. Massachusetts now delivering.
CSU doesn't look flat to me.
Oh, they came out ready to win a tournament, it appears. McCoy, jumper. He's short. Big rebound, Tate.
That's
2:45 in the paint. Yes, sir, he is a man. And Barbie gets a rebound. He's fouled from behind by Mike Mitchell. Massachusetts, not the biggest team you'll ever see. 6'7", 6'8". But, boy, they'll contest.
Watch Meredith take one in the chops right here. Boom.
I have a headbutt.
Is that the same John Tate used to fight now?
I asked you that last night. Last night you weren't sure. I think he might be, though.
You think he's sneaking in here? Nah, I don't think so.
Error. Mitchell gambles, loses. No damage
The
done.
CSU have 6 men on the court. Look how quick they are to the basketball. Walker.
Jumper, there it is. Jimmy McCoy. We showcased him off the top. 1 of 2 from the floor. It's a 4-2 basketball game, and here's the pressure.
I interviewed McCoy after the game last night, and I asked him about one shot that I'd still like to see tonight. He's got a little jump hook that's cute. You got to see that thing.
You know, he's only 6'3". He can rebound a little bit. Andy Anderson can shoot it from 3. Doesn't go, and we might have Eric Freehoff over the back. Yes. First person on Freehoff, second team foul on the Rams, and Boyd Grant up and working the gum on the sidelines, as he always does.
Tiny could shoot himself. I really liked him from the corner.
I love your story. We've mentioned it many times during Colorado State basketball games. He never met a shot he didn't like.
He never guarded anyone.
Yeah,
he's got one of the best defensive records in the country.
How about that? That's not a bad shot. Jimmy
that kick
McCoy
and play.
falling away, one knee in the air. Tied at 4, might have a turnover. Freehoff gets it back.
It's sloppy right now.
Mitchell had Freehoff, and now he gets it in. He blows the gimme. Eric Freehoff denied by the rim. Hera in transition.
He doesn't make any mistakes with the basketball. He knows when to finish and when to bring it back out.
He plays within himself. Williams looking to drive. Left-hander. That won't go. Meredith, he had 7 rebounds last night, a career best, and the guard has one here. Mitchell a 3. That's short, climbs over the back, and it'll be Minutemen basketball.
John Calipari learned his basketball from a number of guys, including Ted Owen, as we take a look at John. He picked up a technical last night. He stomped his foot. Said he was stomping it at his
own player, yeah.
He said, if I ever get another one, I'm going to make the player raise his hand.
Here's Tommy Pace from Manual High School in Denver, Colorado. He is a true freshman, and last night, in his first game back in his hometown, 4.6 rebounds.
There is some ability. He's coming off a terrible knee injury. Nice.
Pace, nice hook, goes behind. And a whistle, and it'll go back the other way. Robbie Dodler with the call, and he's got Tate. And that's number 2 on Big John.
That's going to hurt. That's what we had at the top. Herndon comes in for it. They cannot afford to get in foul trouble. They don't have depth. But watch 34, folks. If you want to have some fun, he's only 6'3", but watch him. He'll make it interesting. Reminds me of Billy Ray Bates. Remember Bates, Portland Trailblazer? Nice.
That's a pretty good explosion off of one quick step.
Showtime.
That's tough not to travel when you get the ball in that position. Got to catch the basketball, know where the hoop is. You got a guy in your waist, and you don't travel.
I'll give you an interesting one because it's bound to happen. There's a travel.
There's a travel.
Who's a better basketball player right now? This guy or Pat Durham from last year? Pat Durham holds every record imaginable for CSU. Hey, you want to see this jam again? Here's the travel.
There's a travel.
Think about that question, though. because Durham has every record imaginable.
I'll tell you what I'd rather think about if you're a Rams fan. I'm sure Rams would like to have Durham and Mitchell together, because Mitchell almost transferred after his sophomore year, and he would have played with Durham. Instead, he comes from Fresno State after his junior year. Freehoff comes free and throws up a brick. Rebound by Tommy Pace underneath. Rams by 2, 15:40 to go, first half. Championship game, Mile High Classic. Drew Goodman, Irv Brown, courtside.
Watch 14 dribble the basketball. You think he hadn't practiced that a while? With the fingers, doesn't palm it.
Well, he played on the U.S. silver medal team in Israel this summer in the Maccabean Games.
I tell you what, somebody taught him a long time ago, an assist is every bit as important as a bucket.
That's great defense by Tryon staying on the floor. McCoy with the up fake didn't get anybody in the air. Squares up, fires away, off, big rebound.
There he is.
William Herndon.
That's my man. I'm going to vote for him for anything he wants. I'll be his press agent. Anybody 6'3" jumps like that. I said it last night. It does remind me of Casey Jones. Casey used to come in here when the AAU tournament was big in his town. He played for the United States Army All-Stars. Same kind of build. Nice.
There's the interception. Tryon, 3-on-2. He has Mitchell and no look to Freehoff. That's a pretty pass.
That's an athlete. He's got some family here watching. He's from Iowa. We've mentioned several times what a good football player was in high school. Good enough to be offered a football scholarship by Iowa and Nebraska. They don't recruit dogs.
No, generally they do not. That's why they are always in the top 5 in the country. Harrer gets it off. Barbie can shoot from the distance, and he doesn't get that one. Tommy Pace really working hard. Meredith comes away, though. He's got Anderson. Anderson goes up with a lob count. 6-point lead for the Rams, 10-4.
Out of the doghouse. It looked like it was terminal 2 weeks ago, and now he's starting again. Anderson, big ability. 15 points in the regional last year against Syracuse.
And he had 14 last night in the best game we've probably ever seen him play. He was on the floor.
That's a great explosion. I'm going to tell you something. This kid can flat play. McCoy, number 20. Now, he found a little bit of a crack. That looked like Dave Bing.
They're going to get Freehoff out of there. He has 2 personals now. Matt Sharp will check in for him. A 6'8" senior from Longmont, Colorado, just about a half hour north of the city of Denver.
Here's a quarterback at CSU. Didn't work out. He went to Northeastern Junior College up in Sterling, Colorado, played basketball, and then transfers back to play hoops.
McCoy rattles around and drops. He has 5 points.
That's a big quarterback, Sharp. But one guy I really wanted to see play some college football was Michael Smith with the Celtics.
They say Michael Smith, who played at BYU, they say he was a better quarterback than anybody they had there at the time. And Ty Detmer last night threw for 576. Back to basketball. Mitchell leads the Rams. They're up by 4. Field goal percentages favor Colorado State. 56% to 25%, and the Rams reflect the better shooting on the scoreboard, up by 4. Drew Goodman, Irv Brown, Norm Jones from McNichols Arena, the home of the Denver Nuggets. Finals of the Mile High Classic.
Meredith hadn't taken a shot yet, Drew.
No.
He was really something in the second half last night. Not only keeping it spread, bringing people out so Mitchell could operate.
I think John Calipari was aware of that.
Look how quick they are, though. They double down, then jump back out. That isn't easy. The best I've ever seen, Maurice Cheeks.
There's his first shot. It goes off a little bit short, and Rayford Giles, 6'2" guard, with the rebound. Harrer back to Giles. Giles can shoot from outside. Pace.
I haven't seen too many Eastern teams that don't know how to play the game. It used to be that there was so much of a discrepancy between screens and style and everything. That's not true anymore. But Eastern kids know how to play.
That was Herndon. Harper Williams. Contests, finally gets it to drop. Number 31, Harper Williams, his first bucket, and it's a 2-point ball game.
All right, they've changed the press now. Now it's a 2-1-2 zone press. They'll look for a double. It doesn't happen, so they'll fall back. No, there it is.
Now they trap.
Here. That's a good place to jump them on the sideline.
Get some back doors out of that. They don't there. Anderson comes open and hits the jumper. 17-footer drops. It's a two-pointer, 12-8.
That'll break your will when you play good defense and somebody pulls up and hits with a nice drive.
Harrer seldom shoots, and UMass is really getting after the glass. 3-on-1.
Numbers are right.
Tryon goes undercut. What do they got? Big collision. They have a charge.
Well, you got to travel
Giles. Rayford Giles is still on the deck.
But this is where it really gets dangerous. When you're airborne, bad things happen. This kid jumps like a kangaroo. He's all right, but it's the defender who takes the blow to the head. One more time. Look how high Lynn Tryon gets. Travel takes away the foul call. Just hopefully Rayford Giles is going to be all right. That's a good sign right there.
He really hit the back of his head. There is protection, cushioning underneath, but he hit the floor. Giles is a junior from Richmond.
That looks like one of the guys that fights Tyson after he throws that right and they hit their head on the canvas. That was scary.
There's Mitchell. He made the nice pass to Tryon. Giles hung tough. So it's 12-8, 11:57 to go. And a different pace, naturally, than we had in the first ball game, where North Carolina won 106-101 over Colorado to take third place in the Mile High Classic. Dean Smith.
Good quickness.
Herndon missed the layup. Comes back out to McCoy. You know what he's going to do.
Boy,
Boy,
he's square up. That's a Mike Evans type shot. Evans, who played for Kansas State, the Denver Nuggets, go to his left and square the body as good as anybody in the country. Two-point game.
This is the kind of team that when you look at him, you say they never go away. Meredith had a notion, brings it back to Sharp. They're doing a good job on Meredith so far.
Excuse me, Drew, I'll tell you this. Somebody wants to learn something looking in. Watch both teams because both understand the fundamentals.
McCoy can tie it, and he does. Jimmy McCoy's already got 10 of the 12 points for UMass. We're knotted at 12. We have a whistle, and Gordon Burke right now is having a conversation
Says
with
leave
Harper
the ball alone.
Williams.
Berkey needs a new whistle or else he better start boiling him in hot water. Tiny didn't like that.
Now Meredith wants a set play. He works against Herrer. They're going to try to direct the basketball and find a trap. Now the Rams into their half-court offense. 2-3 zone.
They like to step up into gaps. They'll skip past it. They're pretty patient. I tell you, Massachusetts keeps those hands pretty active. Remember the old zone where people just stood there and rested? No more. They don't rest on the zone.
Sharp had it knocked out of bounds. 10:28 to play. There's John Calipari, Clarion State graduate in 1982. And Jamie Hines is going to come in. 6'3" guy who can play small forward as well as guard. He comes in for Anderson, so you figure he's going to play small forward. There's Andy. He leaves with 4 points. Tryon back out top to Meredith.
Watch their spacing. They'll keep it spread so it's hard to double. Of course, the key here, that keeps you from
shot clock's at 2. Force, and it goes for Meredith at 1.
What a shot. Line drive. Count it.
Herrer looks to push.
This will be interesting. Hines has Herndon.
They're in a box and 1 right now.
Yeah, they really are.
Tryon's on McCoy.
Box and 1 simply is this. One guy guards the man, the other in a zone defense. It pays off.
Barbie tried to feed the post, couldn't get it there from the wing. Threw it away. Rams by 2. And they've done a good job sealing off Mitchell of late.
Well, they really hustle to get back out on you. They'll double and then they come out. That's where this might kill you.
Mike Mitchell, you can see him make layups and then he fires away from 20 feet. A 3-pointer. Mitchell's got 9, Rams by 5. Biggest lead of the ball game. Check that. They were up by 6 earlier. Barbie, he's long. Tryon had Mitchell streaking for a moment. They kick it back. Here's Sharp. Jamie Hines, who's been red hot from the floor the last 2 weeks, backs it out.
Pretty good decisions there. Tryon in particular, he didn't try and finish. There wasn't anything doing.
Shot clock at 22, plenty of time. 45-second shot clock. Hines a three, that's short. Big rebound for Tate. Here's Herndon. Herndon comes free. Watch him explode.
They find their gunner though, don't they? That's what I like about this ball club. They know where the meal ticket is. The meal ticket is 20. They find 20.
And Lynn Tryon found number 20's arm.
All right, here's McCoy. Very quick first step against foul. Herndon is not in shape yet. This is only his second game. He's got to come out.
Do you know what the sad thing about that is? Since he transferred as a freshman, he loses another year of eligibility. He's a sophomore, but he only can play for a year and a half.
Yeah, that's right.
McCoy, 3 of 3 tonight from the line. Last night he had 30. And I told you, that was a mile-high classic record until Mike Mitchell went and got 34 a couple hours later.
Well, this guy was a McDonald's All-American. They don't just pass those things out.
No, they don't. We have a good one going as we expected. 17-14, Colorado State, 8:24 left, first half. Shots off. This is one with a second left on the clock. And wouldn't you know it?
Put it up there 10 foot 1 inch too, didn't he?
Yeah, he's only taken 16 shots less inside a three-point range this year. That's amazing in 11 ball games. Here's the rebound story in Massachusetts. Has done a job on the glass. Tryon is in a slump and he remains so early, but look who got the rebound. Jamie Hines at 6'3" is a sky master. He gets up. Massachusetts has really done a job in their zone. They haven't come out of it. They're trying to get it to Mitchell. Tommy Pace has him at the moment in the zone. Shot clock at 15.
It's tough to find an opening, isn't it? There it is.
Hines, three-pointer, long. Harper Williams, good rebound. Chance to close within one for the Minutemen. Andy Anderson getting set to come back for Colorado State. There's McCoy. They trap him, get it back to Herrer.
All right, McCoy's running the baseline. They've given up the box and one. It's a matchup all the way. Here's McCoy on the right wing. There he is.
Trap McCoy, he's free. That's easy for him. 17-16, and McCoy has 14 of the 16 points for Massachusetts.
They don't seem to mind letting him shoot it.
Hey, if he's making them, why not?
Got a cannon, you fire. Would you say so?
Yeah, he's not shy. We talked about that. And he's having a great tournament.
Well, look at the contact inside.
There's Mitchell off the glass. He leaves it short, but he'll have two pitches coming. Harper Williams nailed him. First personal on Williams, and team foul number 4 on Massachusetts.
Boy, were they leaning on each other tough. And then Mitchell, with that quickness, finds a little gap. The shot doesn't go down, but he had freed himself up.
And the guy who just checked in, Corinne Wilson, who has been out of action for the last 3 weeks because of a groin injury. He's a true freshman from Portland, Oregon, as Eric Freehoff comes back in. And Wilson, you see Sharp go off. Wilson, number 12. Herndon back in. Wilson, number 12, is a guy that Tiny wishes he had around because he said he would have gotten valuable experience in the preseason. Going to try to get him some quick experience here against Massachusetts.
Jefferson High School up in Portland. They're a pretty good ball club.
Chris Bailey coming in now. Herrer goes out, so Bailey will play the point for John Calipari. Mitchell's 0 for 2 from the line. He's about 80% on the year.
A couple guys stepped in. They'll ignore it. Shot goes down.
2-point lead. UMass can tie.
honestly, this is what I expected. Tough, hard-nosed game.
Clean block from behind, but UMass will get the basketball back. Andy Anderson nailed it. Here comes Tracy Jordan for Mike Mitchell. One of Boyd Grant's concerns, in addition to if his team would be up, is how tired physically they would be, both physically and mentally.
I think there's something about playing for a championship that takes away all of that. This Tracy Jordan, this is the first time you've seen him watching him. He was recruited by everybody in football, went to Kansas on a football scholarship, transferred to the same junior college we were talking about, Sterling, and then winds up at CSU playing basketball.
Corinne Wilson takes it himself. Jordan back to Wilson. So it's Wilson and Tryon in the backcourt. Jordan, Freehoff, who has it, and Andy Anderson up front. Anderson gets the seal, and there's a reach in. Harper Williams buys his second foul.
Tough call. You're working hard, you're playing some defense, and who actually instigates the contact? I think the call's a good one. Definitely hit him on the out.
Williams goes out. John Tate comes in. Tryon free on the baseline momentarily. Back to Wilson. Tryon, and there he is. Lynn Tryon is hit only about 12 of his last 36, 1 of 2 tonight.
That was off the dribble, though, and maybe that's what he needs to do. Most of his shot have been just to stand up and shoot it. Sometimes you go off the dribble, changes things. He looked good on that one.
Boxing 1 again, employed by the Rams.
That's respect.
Herndon, soft jumper.
Hey, this guy can play. That's my man.
Last night he was 6 of 7.
I like that guy.
And his first bucket was a tomahawk jam off a missed shot. And that got everybody up.
I wondered, why in the world would you not schedule for one man who's 6'3", and he averaged, I think, a couple points at Richmond? Well, I see why not.
McCoy, he's everywhere, and he hasn't missed. 16 points for Jimmy McCoy from Pittsburgh, PA. 20 all inside 5 minutes. Keep in mind, Massachusetts hanging tough with a Colorado State team that was up by 20 last night on North Carolina and won by 11. They're doing a job defensively.
Anderson had the seal.
Wilson will fire, and he hits his first jumper in a month.
It's not bad.
That's a travel. Barbie didn't get rid of it before he could give off to Bailey. And we have a timeout on the floor. 4:27 to play in the Mile High Classic. At least in the first half of the Mile High Classic Finals. 23-20 CSU. Jefferson High School in Portland, Oregon. He averaged 22 points a game. He's been out with a groin injury, but he steps up and fires.
I like the release point. And then at the other end, the guy that we've been talking about for the last 2 nights, McCoy. He is so smooth, so sweet. That first step, the square up, like it.
He's got long arms, too. Keeps the elbows high, draws a lot of contact. Rams 3-point lead. Wilson still in the ball game. Here's pressure. Herrer back in now at the point guard for UMass.
You got to burn these with layups, Drew. If you're going to take them out of the press, you got to get a layup.
CSU was able to do that a couple of times last night late against North Carolina when Carolina had it back down to 9 with about 2 minutes to go. Anderson looks to drive, kicks it out. Wilson, second jumper, finds the mark again. He hasn't even hit the rim. That was a 2-pointer.
Does he have some depth up at Fort Collins?
More depth than since I've been in the state of Colorado.
Tell you what, that Polk isn't a bad point either.
Dwayne Polk, you'll probably see him later on. Barbie,
well, he
can
can't
shoot.
buy one.
Tate, rebound.
He got away with one too, Drew. He pushed off.
You're right, he's a man in there, 245. Tryon recovers it. Wilson's wide open. Boy, they find him in a hurry.
He's wide open again. I'd let him pump.
And he will pump.
That wasn't a good shot. Had a hand in the face.
Goes out of bounds. There's Corinne. You know, he had two other close friends. They didn't go to the same high school that are playing Division I basketball right now in the Pac-10. There's Fred Litzenberger, the defensive coordinator.
He was the head coach at Hamlin for a while. Really like this guy. You talk about a loyal, trusted, valuable assistant. And does he know what he's doing? He's got one of the best books out on defensive concept.
The Nuggets lost tonight in overtime, 116-109 at Reunion Arena to the Mavericks. So the Mavericks go overtime 2 nights in a row, and they're 1-1.
Charge.
That's a charge. Second time Tryon is charged tonight.
You leave the ground, bad things happen. Pick it up. You can call this in your living room. It's coming right to you. That's easy.
Good job by Harper Williams keeping position. Meredith comes back for Tryon. You know, I think charges happen more frequently to great athletes because they think they can do anything at times, and Tryon gets himself in the air, and you've pointed out countless times that that'll get you in trouble. Meredith now the boxing one man on Jimmy McCoy.
You really do have to keep it spread and let him work for his own shots. Great shooters find a shot. Watch, this kid will get a shot out of it. I don't care if you have 2 on him.
Pace gets it back to McCoy. Shot clock at 15. You know he wants to go up here. Spins. He hits the shot, but he traveled. That was amazing, though, that he hit that shot. There were 3 guys with 6 hands in his face.
All right, let's see what he does. Shakes to the right, pivot foot's all right. Goes this way, comes back.
Look, 4 guys around him.
Where's the travel?
I don't know. You're right. That looked pretty good. Mitchell fall away. He's done it all. He's had layups, he's had jams, he's had 3-pointers, and now he falls away on the baseline. It's a 7-point Ram lead.
You know, if he's got a weakness, I honestly have not seen it. We've done about 7, 8 CSU games. I haven't seen one single thing that I can say, this guy can't play in the NBA because he can't do such and such. There's got to be something. Nobody's perfect, right?
One would think. Michael Jordan's pretty close. Really got to like Terror, number 14. He just knows his role.
I'll tell you what's happening in America. The point guard has become the man.
Williams, let's see. Stays the same way.
5 seconds, but only shot off.
Exactly right. You only have 5 seconds, and here comes Jamie Hines.
We'll watch whose hand it goes off right here. Tipped up in the air.
Great call.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, here's where you find out who the coach. Let's see if they get a good shot. Not just a shot, a good shot with 5 seconds. Well, you give it to this man, that'll make it easy.
That'll be off. If that goes in, we got a story.
We got an investigation, huh?
All right. Tracy Jordan ahead. Mitchell in traffic. Pick clean by Harrer, who leads or 3rd in the Atlantic 10 in steals. Herndon can't convert on the other side. Hines, big rebound. We're inside a minute.
You know what they do, too? They do a great job of choking the outlet pass. That's the way you stop the break. Rebound the outside shoulder, choke the outlet pass, and then go do the same thing to the guards. That's how you stop the break.
Meredith, ball's deflected. Harrer comes away with another steal. There's what is left, and the shot clock is off. That's all that's left in the half. And Harrer will settle down, and they'll save for last shot. They're down by 7, and you can rest assured Jimmy McCoy will have something to do with the final shot. Jamie Hines is on him in the box and 1. CSU on a 7-0 run. Here we go. Down to 14, and they start moving the offense. McCoy comes free.
Nice.
Finds Herndon. Rams come away. They have 4 seconds. Jordan traveled.
1.8 seconds to get a shot off if you're in the NBA. So it's close to 2 here in college basketball. I kind of like this new system they have with the NBA clock because it says 1 second. That doesn't mean anything, particularly if it's close to 2. Let's see if he gets it off. Hook it.
Harrer, that looks all right. Wasn't a bad effort. So we're at halftime. Then we're at halftime. I'm still in the football mode. We are at halftime. We're at intermission, whatever you want to call it.
Colorado State University will return to McNichols Sports Arena in just a moment. Stay with us. Straight ahead. Stay with us. Snow in Denver as we look ahead to the second half of the Mile High Classic and the championship game. I'm Norm Jones. Welcome back to McNichols Sports Arena. The Rams have a 7-point lead over the Minutemen, and let's take a look at the leading scores. First of all, for UMass, look at McCoy, 16 points, and he is something special when he gets a basketball in his hands. He knows where the bucket is, and he can shoot from anywhere. That little soft jumper there goes down, and part of his 16 points to lead the way, all scorers, by the way, in the game. He goes into the paint there with a soft shot, and that's down. McCoy is really something special to watch, and he's done a great job for UMass out of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. For Colorado State, well, the leading scorer is Mike Mitchell. Mitchell has got 12 points overall. Wilson with 5 and Anderson with 4, but Mitchell has led it for the Rams. And let's take a look at some of his work offensively. He goes to the basket and banks it off the glass there, and a good power move. And Mitchell with 2 of his 12 points. We'll get another look at Mitchell in the first half. The long lead pass and the jam from Mitchell. He does it every way you possibly can imagine. Mike Mitchell leading the Rams with 12 points. And let's go downstairs to Drew Goodman and Herb Brown. Fellas.
Thanks, Norm. There's Mike Mitchell live on the floor. Rams up 27-20. They have not won a tournament, a holiday tournament, since 1977. That was the Far West Classic. They beat 3 Pac-10 teams in doing so. Quickly down low, loose ball. Here comes Barbie. Gives off to Herrer. UMass trying to trim into that 7-point advantage.
They had a terrible time shooting the basketball. This kid just couldn't buy one. He's now 0 for 5. Drew, they were 27% from the field in the first half, and that is so misleading because McCoy was 60%. If they don't have him, they're down to about 10%.
Hey, only 2 other guys scored, and there was a single bucket each. 4 points for the rest of the team in the first half. Anderson on the blocks. Fall away is short. Rebound, and John Tate has it. And I'll put my money on him on most rebounds.
He's got a butterfly stitch on the eyebrow.
Error. Rejected inside. And Mitchell has it, and the Rams can run 4 on 2.
Pretty
Mitchell,
good numbers.
Good look. Anderson back to Mitchell. And a foul on Tate. He buys number 3 quickly into the first half. Let's check, or second half. Let's check the first half numbers. Field goal percentages. Irv alluded to that a moment ago. Massachusetts not good, 28%. 3-point field goal. The Rams come in shooting 47% from there, only 22% in the first 20 minutes. Free throws not the story. Rebound advantage slightly to UMass. Assist big to Colorado State.
Strange stats, really. UMass is throwing up 7 more shots.
Mitchell comes free. That'll be short. Freehoff, offensive rebound. Now Anderson has it, and he's stripped down low. And do they get Tate again? Yes, he has 4 now, Irv, and
That's
that
tough.
could prove real costly.
You want to see a man? That's a man right there. All right, here's the shot. CSU pounds the board. Watch Freehoff, very clever. Gets away with a little push, but he did it the right way. He pushed with the body, and then Anderson keeps it alive, and he gets hit on the arm.
So Tate leaves with 4 fouls. William Herndon quickly replaces him. Massachusetts not that deep in the front court. Anderson has the first. He has 5 points in the ball game. Senior from Ada, Oklahoma. And the second. Rams by 9. Boyd Grant, 248 career victories, 10th all-time in winning percentage among active coaches.
He got the first victory when they opened Moby. Jim Williams had a detached retina. Tiny was the assistant. Takes over, and they beat New Mexico State.
Herndon, a mini explosion to the hoop, and he hits a bucket. He has 4.
All right, they'll press. Now they're going to fall back. Let's see if they trap him 3-quarter. They try and jump him on the sideline. Meredith will try and stay away from that. Here should come the jump.
He doesn't have it across yet, and he just does get it across at the 10-second mark.
John Erickson from the Big 8 was here. They're using the clock this year. As soon as that clock hits the 10-second mark, that's when it's called. they'll let the officials count, but it's all done on the clock.
Now reach in on Herndon. That's number 1 on Herndon, but 3 team fouls already on the Minutemen, and we've only played 2 minutes and 21 seconds into half number 2. Coming in at a guard is Rayford Giles. Herrer comes out. Lob, Mitchell. He catches it, and he'll go to the line. Harper Williams saying, I was standing straight up.
He did a pretty good job defending the bucket. Then he hit an arm. All right, watch it now. Now watch the defense. The position really is good. He did a good job, but he gets the arm. He's going to get called by every official in the world. What a face that. We're the million. One picture.
Harper Williams from Bridgeport, Connecticut, only a freshman, 6'7". He was Mr. Basketball there last year. And here comes Tommy Pace, native of Denver, back in.
Coach Rudy Carey is here tonight. They were doing some type of shooting contest that Rudy was running between games. Or I guess it was the halftime, the first one. Rudy played at CSU. He still holds the single-season career assist record.
There's some pretty big guards, pretty good guards there. Eddie Hughes is with the Nuggets now.
Eddie's amazing. You talk about a survivor and a warrior.
Championship game, Mile High Classic. Yeah, Eddie Hughes is a
well, I was going to say, Drew, I did a CBA game for ESPN 3 years ago, and Eddie Hughes was playing.
Rayford Giles gets a 3.
Right back at it.
Yeah, he's got 8 of them this year. And Meredith has the basketball, and he's been awful quiet. Just a single bucket that Prairie threw up as the 45-second clock was about to expire.
Well, once again, when they double down to help out on Mitchell or Anderson, they get back out on Meredith. It's really something. There's his spot. Oh, that's his spot. That guy's 100% in that spot, and he never shoots.
You're right.
I bet he's 12 for 12 in 2-3 years, something like that.
Exactly right. He never misses from the foul line extended. Giles will try another 3, and it hits the bottom of the net.
Better get somebody on him, says Fred Litzenberger.
All of a sudden, it's a 5-point game. It was 9. 16-30. Mitchell working against Herndon.
Anderson had the seal, and they couldn't get him the ball.
That's a good look. Mitchell will try a 3. It's short. Herndon did a good job of boxing the shooter, even though it was 22 feet away.
Well, look what he's got to work with. He's got a Mark Aguirre behind, so he'll back him off, and he doesn't lose his quickness. Guys like that can play basketball. There's a guy around here by the name of Art Bunny, an All-American, University of Utah. He was tough, big backside.
McCoy gets it off, no good. Mitchell, rebound. Tommy Pace just knocked Eric Free off about 8 feet out of the lane. Mitchell had to alter it. Great defense. But they end up getting a layup because Andy Anderson was alone on the weak side.
He's had a nice tournament.
Yes, he is. 8 for Anderson, and the Rams back up by 7. John Calipari stamping his feet again, Herb.
He's into it.
Every official turned, too.
John's all right. Nice
said,
little young coach.
They said, oh, we remember. When he stamps his foot, he's not getting after us. He's getting after his players. Giles spins in. Shot clock at 12. There's an opening and an easy bucket for Jimmy McCoy. And that's the first easy bucket he's had tonight, and he has 18 points.
You know, both these coaches really into it, up and down the court, moving everything. But no one works harder than Hugh Durham at Georgia. You ought to see him, Drew, before the game. He's out there in shirt sleeves. He's passing. He's covered. There's Meredith.
There's Meredith. First three-pointer of the night. He killed Carolina in the second half last night with 5.
Turned the game around totally.
If you're just joining us, this is the finals of the Mile High Classic. UMass going against Colorado State.
Numbers are great.
Anderson tumbles in, a blocking foul, and it'll count.
And any question about the call, Bryn Smith, who's been very definitive official anyway. Makes the call all the way. They never get in front. He's moving all along.
But to protect himself is what he did.
Anderson, a couple of big plays in the last 3 possessions.
He's got 10, a chance at 11.
No question. On the move.
Tracy Jordan will come in. Eric Freehoff will step out. Tommy Pace has gone out of the ball game. Tate comes in with 4 fouls. Harrer comes in, and Jimmy McCoy will take the first breather that I can remember in this one.
You notice how many times this year we've done a CSU game where the first few minutes of the second half, they come out and they just dominate. Tiny's got to have the greatest close for a speech going. Everybody who's in sales ought to talk to Tiny about what he says to close.
14:09 to play. Rams up by 11. They led by 7 at halftime. Colorado State by 11, and you don't want Mark Meredith free if you're a UMass fan.
This is what he does best. He's really been effective in the month of December. Buries it.
And look at John Calipari, the coach of the Minutemen.
Oh, I can't believe it. Does that guy ever miss one?
There's Meredith Jr. from Tucson, Arizona.
What a steal.
I was talking to Tim Jankovich. We look at the field goal story, first half, second half. Tim Jankovich last night after they beat Carolina, and I said, Meredith, I said, how did he get out of Arizona? He could play for Lute Olson.
Look at Hernan go back to the board. Oh, he almost made a certain stiff.
Whistle before. Yeah, it counts. I thought it was before. Bobby Divler says it's down.
Calls it control. Here's the rule. If it's controlled, then it counts. If it's a tap, it doesn't. Look at Hernan go back to the board. So he almost hits a circus tip.
Harper Williams
goes up strong, knocks it down. They give it to him. Wasn't a tip at all. It was controlled all the way.
63% from the line, but he hits that one.
Here's the press. Now Williams with a long arm. Arms will take the guy out of bounds. Have you noticed that all they do is find Mitchell when there's a press? He's their best ball handler. 6'8".
You're right. There's not a thing he can't do. Mitchell, seal, it's close, missed the layup. There's Jordan, and Harrer got him. And had he not, Tracy Jordan would have had himself an easy layup.
3 people dive after Mitchell, and that leaves the backboards wide open. That's unfortunate because you get penalized for good hustle, and that's exactly what the situation is here.
First on Harrer, team foul number 6. Shooting 1-1 at 7. Only 1 team foul on Colorado State. Jordan's had some problems with the line. 57% hits one there. Top bench scorer for the Rams, averaging, as you see there, better than 5 a game.
Boy, he had the hesitation to take it away.
And
well, wait a minute, this went down. I thought, let's see what happened here. I thought that UMass got in there.
Evidently, a CSU player was in the lane first. There were 2 guys off balance. I think Mitchell leaned in first. So the second free throw will not count for Jordan.
Look at Tiny. Work him.
You never figure it, huh? He looks like Robert Young and Father Knows Best.
He's as tough as they make him.
Williams has it. That could be a story. Jimmy McCoy with an ice bag on his knee. He's been their entire offense.
He was hurting last night. Trainer went over and talked to him about the knee. Good entry.
So they feed it. Tate kicks it out. Barbie. That's good movement. That's great movement. Good job by Massachusetts, and Barbie gets the bucket on a 6-footer.
They just refused to go away. 12:54 left, 7-point lead. Her with the assist.
Tate comes out. Tommy Pace in for Calipari. Tony Barbie, that was his first bucket, I told you. Last night, he had 17 points and 10 rebounds.
Well, he's a good shooter, Drew. It just hadn't happened tonight. I think Michael Jordan has an off night.
Anderson.
Oh, boy.
he's checked Anderson. I thought he was angry at first, but he was making sure that Giles was okay.
All right, here it is. Tiny Grant wants an intentional foul, which means to keep possession of the basketball. I don't think he's going to get it. Here's the foul. Well, it's a good one. But if you're going to foul somebody, you make sure it's not a three-point play.
But you know what? Why not ask for one, right?
You can slap the board, too. That's enough. That's enough. Two. That was intentional.
They swarmed Tiny.
Anderson, couple of pitches. He's 4 of 4 tonight.
The real Tiny is his brother, who played center in football at the University of Utah. I don't know why they call Boyd Tiny. Because the real Tiny weighed about 320 when he competed. We saw him up in Pocatello for the Idaho State game.
You're right. Barbie, about 23 feet. And that's what UMass needs. They got to get him uncorked.
They didn't get the press set up in time. Cal Perry's going wild.
Hines has it to Merritt at the cross. It's a good look. Anderson, 12-foot pop, and he's playing well.
This is a slow press. Got a foul. It's on Mitchell. Ball went down. Let's see if Bobby Dobler counts it. Should. Count the basket. All right, let's pick up the elbow if we can. Look underneath. Forget the shooter. Well, I'll tell you what. You always catch a second one because the UMass kid hits him in the back.
The retaliation. It's like the NFL. Most of the time, you get the guy who throws the second punch for the personal foul. 46-38. UMass trails by 8, 12-15 to go in the ball game. Drew Goodman, Irv Brown, Norm Jones from McNichols Sports Arena in Denver. Finals of the Mile High Classic. Pull up by Giles. He leaves that short.
Oh, boy.
And we got to reach it. Who does he look like? Does he look like Robert De Niro, young Robert De Niro a little bit?
Well,
like
it depends. Now, you're not talking about when he was in a Raging Bull.
I'm not talking about Taxi Driver either.
I don't know, but I like the way he coaches. I like his manner with his kids. He gets after them. McCoy is back in.
Yeah, good news for the Minutemen. There's number 20, McCoy. He's got the knee wrapped.
It's going to be a fun team for the people in Massachusetts to follow in their league.
That's his first miss of the year, or if he was 15 of 15 before that.
Listen to those tennis shoes squeak. You think they're not working? I like to hear those tennis shoes squeak, and I like to hear people grunt. And you know they're giving you a day's work. You ever see a pitcher who didn't grunt? How can he pitch if he didn't grunt?
This is like Tom Seaver. He'd get his ankle dirty, he'd get his shin dirty. He'd push off so much on the rubber.
Williams just didn't come up with the catch. The ball was right there. Now CSU can jump it to 10 or 11 if this guy decides to pull up and win one.
Rams going to their methodical offense.
Well, he'll use some clock. I'll tell you where Tiny was a piece of work. 4 o'clock in Fresno in southern Idaho. Talk about tough.
Hey, he was pretty close to even. Great pass, Anderson, and the bucket counts for Mitchell.
Boy, the ball movement was exceptional. They move it around, they swing it, they make you play defense for about 7 or 8 passes, and then they lull you to sleep. That's the key. Let's see where the foul is.
Fouls on Tommy Pace.
Maybe from this angle. So apparently they got him on the arm.
Mitchell now is 17 in the ball game. He had 34 last night. Here comes Big John Tate again, playing with 4 fouls. 11-point lead, largest lead of the ball game. The Rams were there one other occasion.
And the foul count's going to kill Massachusetts from here on in. CSU is in the bonus already, and the Rams have only committed 2 team fouls.
They got that box and one-erb again on McCoy, and he's getting a little frustrated. Ahead of the field's Anderson,
nice.
And he'll stick this.
What a great pass, though. That probably wants a timeout. Biggest lead of the night.
And Mike Mitchell returns the favor to Andy Anderson, who made that great entry pass a moment ago. And the Rams have it rolling. 10:38 to play. 51-38.
Here's a guy who's just having a solid tournament. Andy Anderson with the jam.
That's a great pass by Mitchell. A good catch by Anderson. And we're at 51-38. There's the big story right now. Massachusetts sends Colorado State to the line every time they commit a foul.
It can work both ways, Drew. My feeling right now is Massachusetts has to take their shots and letting CSU go to the line, looking for misses. Tiny will run too much clock. He's too good a coach. Well, he's working that sideline right now. This guy's been ahead many, many times. He doesn't blow too many leads. Check his track record.
He's got a weave going out top. Meredith free for a moment. Generally all he needs.
Oh, another stick back.
Garbage hoop for Mitchell. 19 for Mitchell. Senior from Los Angeles. Away from the basketball, Eric Freehoff, who was working hard trying to keep the baseline away from Jimmy McCoy.
All right, let's pick up Freehoff. Rocky Mountain High School.
Pretty good block.
Yep. That's a block when the foul count is 7-2. You don't see it when it's closer.
Rams in this half, 9 of 11 from the stripe. UMass just 1 of 1. And another turnover. This could get out of hand. UMass needs a stop. Mitchell's got Meredith. He elects to drive. Back out to Tryon. Short. Anderson, offensive rebound, puts it back in. He's playing a whale of a game. Got a heck of a tournament.
Interesting to see how the all-tournament team goes. You know, Mitchell's a lock. McCoy should be a lock. Could North Carolina not be represented?
I like Rick Fox in North Carolina. I'll tell you this, I already filled out my ballot. Rick Fox is on it.
Herndon back in.
There's Herndon. I think he's a little tired of this altitude. He was spectacular last night. Doesn't have the same legs he had 24 hours ago. Rams in the midst of a 14-5 run, up by 17. This thing was tied at 20 with a few minutes to go in the first half. Calipari still coaching, as he should be. Spent 3 years at KU as an assistant, 3 years in Pittsburgh as an assistant. And Giles.
Those are two good basketball schools.
Yeah, as Giles hits the free throws, he steps out, and Kerry Herrer comes in.
All right, let's see where they try and jump him now. Kid's pretty clever with the basketball. Boy, you play the game of basketball with your feet. It's a 40-minute game, and only 5 played with the hands. That's why smart basketball players work on footwork. The best fundamentals I've ever seen for it is Pete Newell. All they do is work on footwork, footwork, footwork. Pays off.
Shot clock at 12. Mitchell, great position. And a good feed again from his pal Anderson.
Well, he is so quick, and he takes the youngster pace to school. Right now, it's all Rams. They lead it by 17. You think I'm kidding you about what Tiny Grant must say when they come out for that second half? That closing remark or two must do it.
You might be right. Roll goes home. Harper Williams has 7 points. And three-quarter court pressure now by the Minutemen. They let Meredith alone to handle it.
What they do, though, don't bring the ball across half court until you're sure you've got a pass. That's the key to breaking pressure. People bring it across half court, and then you're dead. You can't throw it anywhere but in front court.
And you're right, he keeps working the clock. He worked 35 off last possession. And
he does know what he's doing, doesn't he?
Yeah, I'd guess so. Mitchell drives.
Yep.
Hey, was that a good-looking shot?
He's got 23.
He might have an MVP trophy also. Harper Williams, good stick back. Tommy Pace.
There was no backside rebounder that time as CSU had everybody on the other side of the court.
15-point lead for CSU, 7:11 to go. Anderson penetrates and is fouled from behind. He has a quick first step.
Yeah, he does.
The only guy who has a better first step than Anderson on this team is Jamie Hines. Saw him with the first step last night.
Well, they give up the baseline too easy. Calipari isn't very happy with that. So Anderson at the line. He'd love to get to 20.
Herndon. Second foul. Anderson already has a career best 19 and now 20. There's Tracy Jordan, who'll get set to come in. I believe he'll come in for the shooter.
If this shot goes down, you're going to hear some people behind us who really appreciate Anderson. Listen to this. Wait till they find out he's coming out.
People even stand. A couple of weeks ago, Andy Anderson had a DNP, did not play, coach's decision against Baylor. Williams fouled by Jordan. Fred Litzberger, he's getting geared up. I heard him over here. Defensive coordinator for the Rams.
Freddie was up at Eastern Washington with Joe Folda, and then Tiny took the job. There's Fred. And they hook up together. They're a good team. Saw a good team in the first game. Dean Smith and Bill Guthridge. Sometimes the chemistry is just right.
Harrer gives off to McCoy. McCoy spins. Meredith gets the steal. Meredith's got a 4-on-2, and he backs it out. That's a smart play. Rams by 17. As I mentioned a few moments ago, they have not won a tournament since the Far West Classic in '77.
Tell you what, bet you soft drink that Tiny's after a little while. Oh, look at that. There he is.
He's off his spot, but it was close enough.
Tiny will say, I hope we haven't gelled too early. I've never been around a coach who doesn't worry about something. His team is playing like it's March. He'll worry about gelling early. They're doing everything right. It is a clinic right now. This game is over.
Remember the Montana game several weeks back when CSU could do nothing right against a team they were much better than, and they ended up losing. Herndon still playing hard. I really like him. He's going to help John Calipari as the season unfolds.
Dude, I'm going to tell you something. Massachusetts hasn't embarrassed themselves here. They just have run into an outfit that's playing great. We saw CSU take apart a very good Cal Fullerton team. I mean, there's some ability on that ball club. Saw him against Baylor, and Gene Ives got some quickness. And then against North Carolina.
Shot's got to go up. 4 on the shot clock, and Tryon nails it at the buzzer. Everything
they haven't
going
made a mistake in the last 6 possessions. Not a mistake. Barbie gets one.
I like him a lot. They had the freshman of the year last year in Jimmy McCoy. And they had the all-freshman backcourt in the Atlantic 10 because Anton Brown, who's on the DL right now, on the shelf, was a freshman. And Tony Barbie will contest for freshman of the year in the Atlantic 10. He's good looking.
Oh, boy. Oh, man. You know, it was unintentional. Fortunately, the kid is all right. Mitchell gives him a major league lick with that elbow. It is not intentional. It's one of those things. He swings the elbow. Boy, that's where you lose. That's where you're going to the dentist.
Spoken like a true orthodontist, huh? Fortunately, Harper Williams is fine. Offensive foul on Mike Mitchell, his third. 4:38 to go. Rams have it in high gear. Well, the #1 ranked Colorado Buffaloes are going to the Orange Bowl, and Prime Sports Network will be there too with a special 90-minute preview show. Join myself and Dave Logan from the field of the Orange Bowl in Miami for coach and player interviews, features, behind-the-scenes stories, and highlights leading up to the battle for the national championship. Join us December 31st, tomorrow at 8 Mountain, And again, January 1st, 4:30 Mountain for this special look at the 1990 Orange Bowl, 56th annual. Massachusetts has to make a run here as you
Look at the boards.
rebound story.
Last time CSU was 10-2 was when they went to the Final 8 in 1969 of the NCAA tournament.
They were close to the Final 4. I think Drake beat them.
I believe you're right.
I remember it well, Irv. I remember sitting up in my crib and watching it. No, not that bad. I'm kidding. John Calipari's team, last time they won a tournament was at the Providence In-Bank Classic in '81. They beat Navy. Calipari was still in college. Reach in on Barbie, and Jordan will go to the line. But, you know, this is reminiscent only because of the score and the time left on the clock to last night. CSU led Carolina by 20 with about 4 minutes to go. Dean Smith whittled it down to 9. Fouling and pressing and shooting threes. And using timeouts judiciously. Dwayne Molyneux in the ball game for CSU. Corinne Wilson back in. Shot off, big rebound Jordan, and he's fouled immediately, and he'll go right back to the place he was 10 seconds ago. And the foul on 33, Michael Burns.
I'm trying to think back off the top who was on that ball club in '69, and I believe we're talking about the Kerr twins, Floyd and Lloyd. Dale Schluter ended up playing some pro ball. Jim Williams was the coach. They're celebrating early. There's a guy that didn't get a lot of pub. Pretty solid. You got to have people like this on your side. Early in the year, the centers were playing poor.
The guy on his right was a pretty good player in town here at Littleton. We saw for a moment. Can't go right now. Doug Larson. Then we have a whistle, maybe a lane violation again. I want to tell you folks, due to technical difficulties, we will be unable to bring you the Louisville and Kentucky basketball game scheduled for 1:30 a.m. Mountain time tonight. Instead, we'll show you this one again, the repeat of the championship game here. So unfortunately, we can't bring you Louisville, Kentucky later on tonight. But we'll still bring you basketball. Hey, John Calipari, you mentioned it a little while ago. Nothing to be ashamed about. Everybody thought he'd finish 4th in this tournament.
Nobody gave him a chance.
Rams by 20. Giles to Williams. Williams spins, fades. Matt Sharp gives off to Dwayne Polk. This guy's a dart. Junior college transfer from Highland.
I'll tell you something, he's not bad either.
They got him trapped. Tie up. 5 seconds. And the.
Oh, they got a timeout.
Oh, T.O. Okay. Timeout. Dwayne Polk must have called it right there. 3:40 to play. Rams by 20. Lynn Tryon, I believe, has emerged from his shooting slump. He's hit a couple of jumpers tonight, 3 to be exact. And let's go across the court and up towards the seats to Norm Jones. Storm and Norman.
Thanks, Drew. And as we wind things down in the championship game, let's bring you up to date on all of the bowl scores. College football that we have. In the John Hancock Bowl, it was Pittsburgh beating Texas A&M 31-28. A final from this afternoon. In the Freedom Bowl, Washington had it their way, 34-7 over Florida. That's a final in that one. In the Peach Bowl, it was Syracuse over Georgia, 19-18. And in the Gator Bowl, a big win for Clemson over West Virginia, 27-7. Clemson wins that one. And in the NBA, the Denver Nuggets lost in overtime at Dallas, 116-109. That brings you up to date. Back to you, Drew.
All right, Norm, thanks very much.
That's not Norm Jones. That's Jay Leno.
Is that Jay Leno?
I really believe that this guy is hiding out here.
Got close resemblance facially to Jay Leno, Norm Jones. Norm, who handles all our DU hockey broadcasts on Prime Sports Network. Voice of the AAA Denver Zephyrs on the radio.
There's some young kids getting a chance to play.
Molyneux.
He played during crunch time in the Baylor game.
Yeah. Well, Harper Williams wanted the foul. He slapped the arm the first time, looked up. Bobby Deibler didn't give it to him, so he said, I'll slap it again.
I really don't think John Calipari wants him to foul now. All it's going to do is add to the total as far as the point total and everything. This thing is over, and John knows it.
Matt Sharp, a senior from Longmont, Colorado. He's in the books. You know, we mentioned he was a quarterback. There weren't too many offensive lines in college football that he couldn't look over.
Looks like Scott Mitchell, except he's taller.
McGuire's brother at San Diego State, 6'8". Polk, 3-on-1. Jordan, baseline. Oh, he wanted to jam. He cleared the lane of everybody, and he'll go to the line. 245 plus.
They love him in Moby. Crowd favorite. All right, here he goes. Puts his head down and get out of the way or die. That's right. Die hard. Yeah,
this
like
guy's a linebacker. Yeah, he's thinking about, and Earl Bruce wants him to play football in the spring and put the pads back on again.
There have been guys who've handled it and played two sports.
There's a pretty good guy from CSU who's playing in the NFL that wasn't a bad basketball player. You had him on the floor a number of times.
Bubba was a good basketball player. If Bubba could have really worked at it, he could have been special. His agility, his grace, and he had some toughness.
He's hung around a long time in the National Football League.
Had a ball game Bubba was playing. I was refereeing. I had to throw him out twice. Throw him out once. He drilled some guy from Utah. And then he's on the bench. You really couldn't send him to the locker room. There's a look at McCoy. Those were the rules. There's an altercation at the end of the game, and I look out there. Here's Bubba. Nobody wanted to tell him to get off the floor. I had to get him out of there again.
Or if this guy was 22 when he entered the arena.
It's got the good seats.
I beat you to it tonight, didn't I? 69-47. Certainly hope Jimmy McCoy's knee is fine, and it's really just precautionary ice.
We're gassing a little bit here. We're talking about guys who played two sports. There's a guy named Rick Fisher who played basketball at CSU. One of the better football players ever. He could have played pro football. He was that good.
Reaching on Dwayne Molyneux. You know, I didn't realize Gary Glick, there's the name from the 50s.
Number one pick.
Number one pick in the entire draft out of Colorado.
Port, Colorado. The Glicks have always been up there. Ivan, Freddie, Leon.
Here's a pretty good player, Tim Jankovic, banging the paper there. Jankovic graduated from Kansas State, played for Jack Hartman, married his daughter, and Tim was a three-time academic All-American, quite a player in the Big 8.
Boy, did you bring up a great name. You talk about a man, Jack Hartman. Used to practice him 3 times a day during the vacation. It was something. Boy, I thought he was a good coach.
Yeah, we mentioned Massachusetts naturally. Dwayne Molyneux was the player of the year in Massachusetts a couple of seasons back. Irv, any distant relatives you want to say hello to today?
I'll pass.
All right. Look at this guy. He's a dart.
Look out
to Jordan. How about that for strength? Tracy Jordan.
I get a kick out of Tracy.
Oh, big block. Molyneux. We're not done. Here's Pope. To Jordan. Jordan didn't get the call on the other end.
Let me
Here
tell you
comes
what.
Giles.
There are no more calls.
No, there aren't.
And there shouldn't be. Just make sure nobody gets maimed.
And there's still 2:05 to play. This could be fun.
I think I've told you this before. Used to referee in Puerto Rico, play down there, and they tell you, officials tell you, you even this up or we will. This one you can't even up. CSU's just been too effective.
Sharp wants a shot, and he can do that. They say in pickup basketball, everybody wants him first. This is when the team's getting together. Burns, that's a launch. UMass keeps the basketball. 1:40 to go. 75-49, Colorado State will win the Mile High Classic in 1989. Giles. Corinne Wilson runs it down. It's Matt Anderson in the basketball game. Number 30 for the Minutemen. Sean Nayland also on the floor. Here's Wilson. He had an impressive first half. 2 of 3 from the floor, including a three-pointer after coming off a groin injury. Molyneux wanted to go up and stick it. Boyd Grant, I think, even realizes now the whistles are in the pocket. Molyneux can spring.
You want to know something else about Tiny?
What's that?
Had a flat curveball.
Flat curveball. You
Never got on top of the deuce at all.
Got taken deep a lot.
Yep.
Giles had himself a nice little ball game. He has 12 points. Ram fans still want offense. Pope misses it. Sharp runs it down. Jordan will fire that. I know it. He cleans house, gets everybody out of the way, and puts it off the glass. He's off.
One of the things a lot of people were kind of hoping for a CU-CSU match to see Tracy Jordan and Rodell House Guest compete against each other. They're both about the same size.
That's right. They'll clear the living room out. Jordan knocks it out of bounds. 9.1 to go. There's Tracy. Got a younger brother, Sean, at Hutchinson JC, and a lot of schools want him to play defensive tackle. He's 6'5", at 275, and he runs a 4.8. Molyneux, pretty sweet. And the buzzer goes off, and the Rams are the champions of the Mile High Classic. They win it going away, 77-51. Two coaches meet, John Calipari, Boyd Grant. He gets career victory 249. And on the season, he's now 10 up and 2 down. That's a pretty good tournament for CSU and Boyd Grant. They knock off North Carolina, 24th ranked team in the opener, then finish it up over UMass.
Colorado State victorious. They win the Mile High Classic 77-51 over UMass, the Minutemen. And the CSU Rams, after a victory last night, the Rams victorious by a 78-67 victory over North Carolina, came in against Massachusetts, a team that most people felt would probably finish 4th overall in the tournament. But Massachusetts surprised Colorado last night by a score of 78-71. As the all-tournament team is being introduced. Anderson, a member of that all-tournament team. Vanderveer from Colorado. And there's Mitchell from Colorado State. So Mitchell and Anderson from Colorado State named to the all-tournament team. Sean Vanderveer from Colorado is on that all-tournament team as well. The presentation at center court. As again, the Rams will win the Division I championship trophy 77-51. And the Rams off to just a tremendous start this year. They now have 10 wins on the season. And this is the first tournament they've won in a long time. But a very capable team as they get the championship trophy in the 3rd Mile High Classic. The first time the Rams have participated in the Mile High Classic. There's Tiny Grant, the head coach at Colorado State. And I'll tell you, well deserved. Is he a great coach or what? But credit Massachusetts as well for getting to 2nd place in the tournament. So the final again, 77-51. Colorado State wins the Mile High Classic. We'll return to McNichols Sports Arena in just a moment.
Hello.
State 77, Massachusetts 51, as the Rams of Colorado State win the Mile High Classic. And we hope that you've enjoyed the Mile High Classic, featuring 4 good teams and certainly fine competition. But Colorado State the winner. And let's go down to Drew. He has the winning coach, Tiny Grant.
All right, I know two guys right here that really enjoyed the tournament. Tiny Grant next to Herb Brown, and also Mike Mitchell, the tournament MVP. All he did was have a combined 57 points and a career best 34 against Carolina. And I think there was some concern tonight, Mike, whether you guys would be up emotionally, but you answered all those questions pretty early.
Yeah, we did. At first, we did feel a little bit lax, but we got together at halftime and said, let's go out and continue to play championship ball, and we did.
I got to tell you, Drew, this guy's getting more airtime than Regis Toomey. Every time we do a game, we always interview Mitchell. What's going on here? I guess he's played pretty good.
I guess so. You know, you had mentioned something earlier in the game. You said Tiny Grant must have the greatest last two sentences before he sends him out on the floor for the final 20 minutes. What'd you say today, Coach?
Well, I think we visited basically around playing like a championship team. We didn't feel like we were playing very well the first half, and we just wanted to get more intensity, more energy into the game. And you know, when you talk about Mike Mitchell being on TV, or the son of a gun, he's getting more airtime than me, and he should. You know why? He's scoring about 24 points a game, and he's just been great. As you know, the last 4 or 5 games. I don't think Herb, in the time that I've been coaching, I don't think I've had a better basketball player play in the last 4 or 5 games than Mike Mitchell.
You've had some good ones, including Rod Higgins, Pat Durham. Tony, I thought one of the things that really helped tonight, McCoy was outstanding. You went to a boxing one. I thought it changed things up.
Yeah, and then I thought the second half that Lynn Tryon, he gives him only 2 points, and he might have been getting tired. I think when you get chased all night, that you have a tendency to, if you don't get some rest, especially when they rely on him as much as they do. And you know, you take away his points, Herb, in the first half, and maybe they only shoot 15%.
That's right. There was only
That's not bad defense.
That's
Herb.
not bad.
That's just about what I shot in college.
There was only 2 other buckets in that whole first half. Hey, Mike, you do everything so well. We talked about that a lot tonight. What do you prefer playing? Would you prefer to bring it up court like Ralph Sampson always likes to do?
No, I'd rather stick inside and then work my way outside for a few shots. But all I'm doing right now is trying to help the team as much as possible.
You're doing okay. Herb?
Tony, I think one of the things that really is evident is how much depth you've developed. We take a look at this Wilson for the first time. He comes in when it's a ball game, cans a couple of long ones for you.
Well, I've always felt that Corinne could play for us as a freshman, and we want to develop him if we can for the conference, but he's been hurt and hasn't been able to play or even practice for the last 2 weeks. And you know, I did mention that, Herb, at halftime, too. I said, look at Corinne. I mean, he comes in and plays like a veteran. But some of the rest of you guys play that way. And I thought we did. I thought there was a stretch there where we really played good basketball. We got the ball where we wanted to get it, and we either got fouled or we made the basket.
Exactly.
Hey, Tiny, one final thought. I want to get both your thoughts on this. Andy Anderson, well documented. We talked about it. Wasn't in the good graces a couple of weeks ago. Did he have a splendid 2 ball games?
Yeah, well, he's Mike's roommate. I had to forgive him. No, not really, but, you know.
You're laughing now. You weren't 2 weeks ago,
well,
buddy.
No, I don't laugh during the game either. But I think the thing that with Andy is that I think the last couple of games he has really played up to his capabilities. He's taken the ball to the basket, he's taken good shots, and he's really playing with confidence. And I think I just got him mad enough at me, Drew, that it doesn't matter now.
You guys had some mental telepathy going tonight. You hit each other for a couple assists each.
Yeah, we did. You know, we look for each other real well. Andy has good sense on the court, and you know, I can say I have a pretty good sense too, and you know, we played well together tonight.
I would agree with that. Hey, guys, enjoy it and get ready for El Paso. We'll see you down there.
Okay, thanks, guys.
Happy New Year.
Right. Mike Mitchell, Boyd Grant, the head coach, and these guys brought a lot of people down from Fort Collins, and there's a lot of people excited about basketball, as they should be in Fort Collins.
Well, it's the best start for the Rams, 10-2 since 1969. They were in the Final 8 that year, and they're playing good ball. You mentioned, you know, a lot of people came down from Fort Collins. The roads are brutal around Longmont. People tried to come down. A lot of them turned back, so who knows how many they would have had. But for 2 weeks, CSU has been letter perfect. Just think about what they've accomplished. They've beaten Fullerton. They've beaten North Carolina. They win the Mile High Classic. You know, you just can't play any better than they have in this 2-week period.
A couple of players I want to talk about very quickly, just a couple of moments. Jimmy McCoy, University of Massachusetts, and also Rick Fox, who was on the all-tournament team from North Carolina. Those 2 solid players.
Yeah, very much so. Fox can give you so much from the outside. McCoy is just one of those unstoppable guys, and he was fun to watch. The entire tournament for me was just a joy.
And Sean Vandiver was terrific also for CU. They finish on the bottom of the barrel.